Hey, welcome to the show, everyone. January 15th, 2024. Still trying to get live on Rumble. What is going on? And I see myself on YouTube. Rumble, I still got the coffee cup. Come on. Just want to make sure that we're live, because I see we got a number of people waiting there. There we go. We are live, indeed, on this freezing cold January 15th, 2024. Welcome. Hope you have a cup of coffee. If you do, raise it up. Let's get going. Nice. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the circus of American democracy. You know, we got this quaint little tradition here in the heartland known as the Iowa Caucus. Now, don't get me wrong, I love a good caucus as much as the next guy, but Iowa? Really? The dead of winter? It's like trying to measure public opinion while half the state is hibernating, but I mean, let's get real. The Iowa caucus is as representative of America as Hunter Biden is to meritocracy. Sub-zero temperatures? Come on! Who thought that was a brilliant idea? If you want to gauge the will of the people, maybe choose a day when folks don't have to worry about their noses freezing shut when walking to the polling place. Get something in my beard here. Anyway, speaking of polling places, the idea of letting Democrats register on the same day as Republicans is like inviting chaos into the party. I get it. We're all about inclusivity. But this is like throwing open the doors to a debate club and letting in the marching band. Democrats and Republicans mixing it up on the same day? Recipe for disaster. Or at least a great plot twist and a political thriller. Now, this year, the Democrats decided to take a break from the caucus game. I can't blame them. Joe Biden can't handle a primary. But here's the kicker. Without a Democratic caucus, you've got these political masterminds exploiting the system. Dirty tricks, my friends. In the greatest country in history, you'd think we could figure out a better way to run a democratic process. But no, we're sticking with the Iowa caucus, where the weather is colder than the judgment of most politicians. It's a strange tradition, quirky relic that's somehow become the litmus test for presidential aspirations. So here we are, freezing our political ass off in the middle of winter, pretending that the Iowa caucus is the epitome of democracy. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for a change. Let's thaw out this system and let's find a way to let people's voices be heard without the icicles. Remember, democracy, it might be messy business, but it shouldn't require a snowmobile and thermal underwear. My name's Tom Coffee. This is a Coffee Nuance Show, best censored commentary, a news show live right now. Flame on. Oh yeah, today is the day. Finally, we've got the Iowa caucus. It's finally here. Bit anticlimactic, isn't it? A little bit. I don't know what I have. I keep feeling like I gave myself a special treat today and had a cinnamon bun because I'm all snowed in. I've got, I don't know, icing or something. I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, it's Iowa Caucus Day. It actually doesn't happen during the day. It starts this evening. So we're not going to know anything today. We're going to have to wait till tonight to see what's going on. But yeah, here's a couple things to keep in mind about this tonight. In tonight's Iowa Caucus, all eyes are on the Republicans as they gear up to potentially nominate Donald J. Trump for historic third GOP presidential run. Battle for second place is intense between Sanders and Haley, and who knows what's going to happen with Ramaswamy. We'll see. Stakes are high, but Iowans, amidst legal challenges and controversies surrounding Trump, are favoring Trump. Key points to watch tonight, and this is the key point that the media wants you to know, whether or not Trump is going to exceed 50%, because somehow that matters. Also, the impact of the challenging weather conditions on voter turnout. So this just seems insane to me. And I got to salute the people that actually are going to brave the weather to go somewhere. I'm sitting here in Oregon, and, you know, here in Portland, Oregon, we're a lot wimpier than Iowans. I get it. I mean, you all have real winters. I think it's about 20 degrees right now. We actually have some sunshine, but ice on the roads, snow. All the snow is frozen really hard. I don't want to go anywhere, much less go to like a school gymnasium and stick around for a couple hours, try to get back without, you know, crashing into a curb or having someone drive into my car. I wouldn't go if it were me. I know, and that does. It sounds a bit anti-American, but we've got to come up with a better system than this. And I don't think it's. I don't want elderly people out there driving on icy roads to go cast their, you know, stand in caucus for a candidate. That's not safe. And I know, yeah, democracy's not safe. If you believe in democracy, you know, you should be able to sacrifice whatever. I get it. I totally get it. But middle of January, Iowa, I don't know. I think we could probably come up with a better schedule for this. Now, the other thing that came up, and it's interesting that not a whole lot of people have been talking about this in the media. By the way, stick around for the after show. I'll be going through all 0 comments. Or, what's up, Ox? Good to see you. Guess people might not be tuning in because they might have the day off. Because it's MLK Day. Yeah, happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day, by the way. But, what the heck was I saying? Yeah, this is insane. This is insane. So one of the things that I did not hear people talking about on the corporate media is that since the Democrats are not having a caucus this year, they're not participating in Iowa, and Iowa wants to be so inclusive, right? They just allow anybody to show up day of. I know that there has been some behind the scenes thinking that we could get a whole lot of Democrats to show up to this Republican caucus, say they're Republicans for the day, and support Nikki Haley, because that is the biggest, I guess, most opposite of Trump. Also the number one candidate for the deep state, I guess you would say. Number one military industrial complex, war machine, bloodthirsty monster, Nikki Haley, I guess. That's not very nuanced, is it? No. I join Rand Paul. Was it Rand Paul? Was it Thomas Massey? Oh my goodness. I can't get them confused again. In the hashtag Never Nikki. Yeah, I'm not even a Republican. But if I were voting Republican, there's 0 chance I could vote for Nikki Haley. I can't vote for a warmonger. Can't do it. Cannot do it. But turns out a lot of Democrats would love to jump parties to vote for a war pig like Nikki Haley. And perhaps that will be going on tonight. However, because of the weather, maybe people won't do that as much. Who knows? Can we really draw any conclusions from what happens tonight with the Iowa caucus? I don't know that we can or not, because anything that happens can be excused by the weather. Let's say Vivek does overwhelmingly better than anyone thought. They will just say, well, Vivek was popular with younger people that would go out to caucus, whereas the older people stayed home. Doesn't mean anything, right? I mean, that's a plausible story that you could hear. Nikki Haley does well. I'm sure they'll say that that's a sign that she's a strong candidate. But I think that she would do well because she would probably have a whole lot of Democrats crossing over to support her. Well, to me, that doesn't mean anything. Trump can blow everybody out of the water. That's kind of what's expected. Are we going to learn anything from this tonight? I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Again, I'll be going through all your comments in the after show, so stick around after all the stories I get to today. I don't have that many. And let's chat about it. But anyway, we've had this big buildup, and then we got an Arctic blast. So I don't know that the results are actually going to mean anything. I'm sure the media will tell us it means something, though. That's for sure. Anyway, let's get to the next story. Yeah, this happened Friday. I just wanted to touch on it. Gonzalo Lira, prominent commentator on the Russia-Ukraine war, died in a Ukrainian hospital after 8 months imprisonment, accused of justifying Russia's war effort. Lira's arrest in May of 2023 led to domestic opposition to U.S. funding for the war. He faced medical neglect, battling pneumonia for nearly 3 months without proper attention. His father, Gonzalo Lira Sr., pleaded with the American embassy for intervention, but efforts proved fruitless. Lira Sr. blames Washington and Kyiv for his son's death, alleging torture, extortion, and incommunicado detention. Lira's death adds to the toll of those opposing the war in Ukraine. So I did touch on this Friday night, but not during the day show. So yeah, Gonzalo Lira, he was living over there in Kharkiv, Ukraine, reporting on the war. And basically what I've seen in the corporate press is that he is a terrible human being who's a Putin puppet that's just pushing Putin propaganda, and somehow maybe he went out and this feeble, out of shape guy was able to determine where Ukrainian troops were and sent that information on to Russia. Yeah. The coverage of this is just terrible. I've not seen really any mainstream media talk about it. I think Newsweek had a piece, but they didn't even look into it. They just kind of quoted the Tucker Carlson tweet. We still haven't got a response from our government. I wonder if Joe Biden's going to be asked about this. Probably a good reason for Joe Biden not to take any questions for quite a while, I would imagine. But yeah, sad day. I'm sorry that this happened. Ukraine is not the bastion of democracy and freedom like they tell you in the corporate press. You may not speak out against the establishment over there. Now, you can do that here. You can speak out against the establishment. It genuinely helps if you choose a team, right? If you're a Republican, you can speak against Democrats. If you're Democrats, you can speak against Republicans. If you think they're both crooks, we're probably going to shadow ban you. That's kind of how it works. But yeah. So anyway, that's the update on Gonzalo, and if he's ever covered in the corporate press, I'll let you know about that. Anyway, let's get to a fun story. So, Fox News host Jesse Waters suggested that Taylor Swift could be a front for a covert political agenda, claiming the Pentagon's Psychological Operations Unit considered turning her into an asset. The Pentagon responded, dismissing the conspiracy theory and referencing one of Swift's songs. Pentagon spokesperson Sabrina Singh stated, "As for this conspiracy theory, we're going to shake it off," while subtly incorporating Swift song titles into the response. This comes amid previous tensions between the Pentagon and Fox News hosts. Now, it was interesting that in the denial that she was a State Department psychological operation, the denial was that she wasn't a psychological operation, that she wasn't being used by one of our intelligence agencies, just it is not being used by the State Department. Okay. Interesting. It could be being used by the FBI or the CIA or someone else, right? But not the State Department, apparently. No. That's kind of like these very specific denials, like some guy goes on a business vacation, business trip, and says, "Hey, just so you know, honey, I didn't cheat on you Friday night. I want to make it clear to you, I didn't go out with any other women on Friday night." You're like, "Yeah, but you were gone for a week. Why are you just saying Friday night?" Just saying. I'm just saying. So, Taylor Swift, not used as a Psy-Op, a psychological operation for the Pentagon. Now, everything else, we're not going to say. But I think it's pretty obvious. That's my take. Anyway, let's get to pointing out some BS in the corporate news. That's some good coffee. So, in Eagle Pass, Texas, a tragic incident occurred where a woman and 2 children drowned in the Rio Grande on Friday night. The U.S. Border Patrol agents responded to a distress call from the Mexican government, were reportedly prevented from entering the area by Texas National Guard troops, acting under direction of Governor Greg Abbott. Representative Henry Cooler highlighted the deaths, stating that the Border Patrol agents were physically barred from Texas officials from providing assistance. The Texas Military Department disputed this, claiming they were aware of the distress report but found no migrants needing help. The incident occurred amid an ongoing court battle between the Department of Homeland Security and Texas over border access. Mayor of Eagle Pass mentioned the emergency custody of Shelby Park, the area where the incident occurred, being taken by the state. The White House criticized Governor Abbott's actions because, of course they will, emphasizing the need for U.S. Border Patrol to have access to enforce laws. Well, this is a very weird story, but I want to show you how this is being covered by NBC. And as you know, many people believe that NBC is the mouthpiece for the permanent Washington establishment. So this is the story here. NBC News. Let's take a look at how this is covered. Let's look at the headline. Woman, 2 children die crossing Rio Grande as Border Patrol says Texas troops prevented them from intervening. Well, just looking at that headline, that sounds terrible. A woman and 2 kids are drowning, and the Texas troops, the Border Patrol wanted to save their life. And the Texas troops stopped them. They said, no, that woman and 2 children must drown and die because they're not American. That's what it looks like with the headline. Texas Military Department pushed back on the claim, saying its personnel were made aware of the distress report, but couldn't find them. Yeah. So that's an interesting way to cover the story. And of course, the Biden team is saying, oh, we need to allow the Border Patrol in there to do stuff because we want the Border Patrol to go in and assist people crossing the border into the U.S. And those awful, awful Texas military, they want to stop people from illegally entering the U.S. Racists. That's what it sounds like. So I just wanted to bring up the way that this story is covered, especially by NBC, that the headline just screams that Border Patrol wanted to save their life and Texas wouldn't let them. What a really terrible, disingenuous way of framing that story. As always, I leave a link to every story I reference in my videos, in the comments when the video's over. So you can go and look for yourself and see if I'm being fair about this. And also, if you want to show other people how certain media companies are lying to us, at least you'll have a reference for that. So, anyway. I guess lastly, let's get to some good news. We need some good news. Let's get to the good news. Yeah. Celebrity-driven beekeeping is a hot hobby trend in 2024 with stars like Beyonce and David Beckham contributing to its popularity. A survey of 2,000 adults shows a growing interest in unique hobbies, including knitting and outdoor activities like geocaching. The trend reflects a shift toward environmentally friendly pastimes, such as creating bug hotels. The survey commissioned by Sky for the film The Beekeeper highlights the positive impact of beekeeping on Jason Statham during the movie's production. Other celebrities with diverse hobbies include Scarlett Johansson, Sting, and Brad Pitt, all into the beekeeping stuff. So this came about, I read about this because I'm watching The Beekeeper with Jason Statham. It's in theaters now, and I've been watching it. I'm just about done with the movie. It's a great action film, kind of silly, but the premise is that he's, some special guy that's been trained to do all kinds of incredible things, and something happens to someone he cares about, and he just goes ham, just goes nuts on the organization that did somebody he loved wrong. It's a Jason Statham action movie. It's fun, it's light, it's silly, but in it, he's a, he's retired from being this badass, and he's just out there in the country, just lonely old beekeeper. But it got me thinking about beekeeping, because I've talked about beekeeping recently. I did look it up, and apparently, I am deathly allergic to wasps. And I didn't know if you are allergic to wasps, are you also allergic to bees? Well, it turns out that almost everyone that has an allergy to a wasp is not allergic to a bee. Hashtag not all, right? So I don't know 100%, but it turns out that these are not correlated at all. And so perhaps this would be something that I could look at doing. I think in the future, you know, who knows what's going to happen with the country, but if you had some beehives, if you were harvesting honey, that might be very valuable in the future when, you know, there's no money and there's the zombie apocalypse. Jars of honey would make good trade with your fellow survivalists, right? I think jars of honey would be very valuable. And might keep your property a little safer. You know, who wants to try and invade a property that's full of bees, right? I don't know. But that's an interesting hobby. I find it very interesting that all these celebrities are now getting into beekeeping. And who knows? That might be a kind of a fun thing to get into. Do you know about beekeeping? Because I think I'd like to learn a little bit more about this hobby. And if it's the hot new thing, maybe I should get in on it. Maybe I should become a beekeeper, right? Make a YouTube channel about beekeeping, although I'm sure that already happens. But there's probably not a beekeeper with, you know, just being a beekeeper doesn't mean that you can necessarily make good movies either. Anyway, that's the good news that I have today. I've been stuck at home all weekend because of the Arctic blast that hit Portland. We're pretty lucky here in Portland because I think we've got over 100,000 people without electricity. I mean, why not, right? I was fortunate that didn't happen to me, you know, knock on wood. So I've just been hanging out, watching movies and whatnot. But anyway, that's all I have for you today. Stick around for the after show. We can talk about things. And yeah, let's see what happens tonight with the Iowa caucus. To me, I don't think we're going to learn anything, but that's just my take. Anyway, see you in the after show. If not, I'll see you on Wednesday. Big Idea Wednesday. Until then, peace. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Thanks for sticking around for the after show. Let's see what is up in the chat. Not a whole lot of chat happening on Rumble today. What is up? Usually we got a lot more going on in Rumble. But that's okay. What's up, Ox? Nice to see you. Anyway, in the YouTube, what's up, Natasha? Medieval Latin, caucus equals drinking vessel. Did not know that. Did not know that. So raise my caucus of coffee here. What's in your caucus? Yeah, let's raise our caucuses and offer a toast to Gonzalo, Lira, brave, witty, eloquent man. May his memory bring warm fuzzies to us all. Yeah, and I am glad that at the end of his thing, Gonzalo was, I think, doing the world a valuable service in his perspective on what was happening in Ukraine. I think that was a nice last chapter. I'll just put it that way. Taylor Swift, according to Hairway to Stephen, Taylor Swift is part of the plan to convince people that our economy is doing well and everything is okay. Maybe. I did see her at the Chiefs game, and I don't know. I'm not judging her. I mean, she seems like a nice enough young lady. But it is, the whole thing around her is weird, and it doesn't seem organic to me. Does not seem organic. Is Taylor Swift the new Marilyn Monroe? Don't know. Not good weather for river crossing. Duh. Yeah. It's 38 degrees in Eagle Pass right now. Yikes. Cold. Very cold. Natasha says, I crocheted a mug cozy this morning. Can knit, sew, macrame, woodwork, etc. also, but I'm not a celebrity. Well, that's okay. Actually, a mug cozy sounds like a cool business. That sounds like a cool business, a warm business, right? An awesome business. You know, one of the many business ideas I had over the years is I wanted to just make like to have a store to be like the world emporium of tea cozies, right? Tea kettle cozies. I like tea kettle cozies. I got one when I was staying in London. This is like 94. I guess I was there for the summer. 90, 94, 95, something like that. But I love my tea cozy. And I thought, yeah, that would be kind of a cool business, right? If you have the tea cozy emporium, right? You have the most tea cozies of anyone. Probably not $1 million business or anything, but just an idea. Beekeeping looks interesting. I had honeybee land on me every day for about 2 weeks this summer, wondering if it was always the same bee. Don't know. Tom, give us a better look at your coffee mug. Oh, so the coffee mug today, this is a little tiki coffee mug. Let's see if I can. No, I don't know who makes it because there's nothing on the bottom. But I found this in a shop, an antique shop. So, I mean, I doubt it's an antique. It's probably just made in China or something. I don't know. But anyway, it's a little tiki god, little squatty man coffee mug. So yeah, glad you like it. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. I know it was kind of a quick show, but that's all I got. I'll go back and I'm going to finish watching The Beekeeper. And they say that it's actually going to get colder and worse weather here tomorrow. So I'm actually being advised that if I need to go to the store, I need to go today because it's going to be worse tomorrow. But I tell you, it's so cold. I don't even want to walk my dog. We go out, we walk a little bit, but not very far. Just because it's so cold. And I think it's not just the cold, right? It's the wind. I think it's about, 25, 30 mile an hour winds here right now. And just the wind is just so awful that I just want really nothing to do with it. But if it's going to be worse tomorrow, I don't really need anything. I'm pretty well stocked. Tea kettle cozies. I could custom make those. See that? There you go. That is, that's a business right there. Here we got Nephilim Ninja of Nibiru, Netflix Hillary. Don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all today. I mean, it's going to be kind of interesting to see what happens in Iowa tonight, but I don't think we're going to be able to know anything from it. And what will be interesting, though, this is my call, is that the people in the corporate media, no matter what happens, they will have a take on it. And I'm going to tell you right now, their take is going to be wrong. That's my prediction. They're going to have an interpretation about the results from tonight, and their interpretation is going to be BS. So I'll be debunking it. That's how confident I am that they're going to say something really stupid tonight. So let's see if I'm right. Hope not. I mean, I'd like to just get some honest critique, but that just doesn't seem to happen anymore. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all today. I'm going to try to stay warm. You stay warm too, Natasha. See you all on Wednesday. Peace.